acknowledgement of connection with Spirit into this space. So I invite you just to make yourself comfortable in whatever space that you like to be as we take a collective breath and recognize that one life, it connects each and every one of us. It connects us with all people across this entire planet, with all life, with all material, with the entire universe, that we are one with it all, and that it is always expressing more and more, always experiencing, expanding, and we are part of that natural expression. So I know that here today, the perfect message, the perfect music, the perfect community and camaraderie that we have is uplifting our experience of humanity in every way possible. So I offer thanks, acknowledging that Spirit is in deep pleasure to get to witness this unfolding through each and every one of us. And I offer deep thanks for everyone who hears that call and steps out into exploring more and more of what really, what makes us tick, what is inside that one life that drives us, continues to encourage us to go on and always learning more and more in that upward spiral of experience and life and expression and creativity. So with that deep gratitude for each and every one here, knowing that this time everyone gets exactly what they need, I just say thank you. And I release these words into that infinite law that makes our words manifest. And I affirm that it is so as we say, and so it is.
Good morning, everyone. You are my beloveds. My name is Idalia Romero. I am a religious science certified practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Cape Coral. This month's theme is curiosity as a superpower. A superpower. This is a time when we will go deep within the surface of who we truly are. Living a life of curiosity is having a strong desire to know something deep inside of us is alive and well, to be inquisitive. So as we go deep inside and explore what lies beneath the surface, let us now get quiet and allow ourselves to relax and feel the magnificence of what and who we truly are. Let us now get curious with the understanding that we are spiritual beings, living in a spiritual world, governed by this incredible spiritual law. As we become still, let us take a moment to just let go. Let go of any thoughts, feelings, body issues. Let's just surrender it all. As we slowly and gently allow ourselves to go deep within the surface of this spiritual essence. This thing that I know is magnificent. Let us see ourselves as spiritual beings. Let us feel the freedom of it all. We are spiritual. Let us explore what that truly means to us individually. Because we are individualized through this spirit. With the understanding that everything is spiritual. Everything. As we feel ourselves going deeper into that space and time where we feel fully connected with this source, let's dance into that curiosity. The source of life itself. Where we know without a shadow of a doubt that we are spirit incarnated. That we are not only spiritual beings, but that we are spirit itself. Knowing and understanding that we live inside a universal essence that is always flowing through us, as us. There is never, ever any separation. We're always connected. Let us listen to its guidance right now. For this guidance always comes forth as a whisper. And it comes forth through us. For we are the channels. We are the vessels. Let us take a moment to revel on this idea. Feel the freedom of what that means. Like an eagle flying with that wind underneath its wings. Feel that freedom. As we go deeper and deeper inside ourselves. Truly feeling that oneness, that wholeness. Being inquisitive with lots of intention. Oh, the glory of it all. Let us now take a breath as we connect with the grandeur of the spiritual world around us. That spiritual world that is alive. Knowing again that everything is spiritual. No matter what it sounds like or looks like at this very moment. When we see everything as spiritual, we can live in that glory. And we can be curious. So at this moment right now, let's see all of our life experiences, all of them. Little ones, big ones, joy-filled ones, sad ones, grief-filled them as gifts. The universal grace and energy whose circumference is nowhere. Let's take this moment right here, right now, and feel that expansion. Let's just feel it. As we allow our heart space to slowly, slowly expand in and out. Let us now recognize that beneath it all there is a spiritual law that is always saying yes, always conspiring for our highest good. A law that is never, ever fearful, only loves each and every one of us and everyone around us dearly, dearly. A law that transcends everything. A law that is divine. We know that these are spiritual laws. Mysteries of life itself. A blind law. Mind in action. A creative medium of spirit. For we know there is only one law. And now, let's recognize this law. Knowing that the law of God is truth. And that we are truth. The law of God is holy. And that we are holy. The law of God is spiritual. and that we are Spirit itself, the source of everything, the superpower energy that is alive and it's always flowing. So now, let us take a moment to drive through any fear in our body and minds. To allow the curiosity of this spiritual energy to flow through every fiber, cell, and tissue of our body. To reveal to us the wonderment and the unknown, and revel in the gifts it brings us. The gifts that are everywhere. No need to look. No need to reach out. They are here. In this moment, in this here and now. Oh, the joy of it all. God's glory and grace. So with this connection, at this moment, let us gently and slowly, allowing this curiosity to come forth through us as we slowly open up our eyes and look around us, seeing what lies beneath the surface of everything in each other's eyes. Namaste.
Okay, good morning, everybody. We got a full house today. We have people hanging out in the lobby still, but why don't you all come on in and we'll get this party started. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing this morning? Good?
We're warmer.
Yeah. And the meditation with Adalia was beautiful, amazing. What a beautiful experience. All right. And we have a couple kids with us today. We have Camilla, we have Griffin. Love our kids. All right. Okay, so we're going to start this off this morning with a song from the amazing, fantastic, whoop.
That's what happens when you don't say it quick enough. No. Technical difficulty. Thank you for your patience.
All right, we ready, guys?
Are we awake?
We're awake.
Good. Woo.
Should I tell the drummer to start?
Good morning.
Good
Come
morning.
and stand with us.
All right.
Let's go. We're all going to shine this
It's a great
morning
song.
with a fun song. When I was first on the dance floor, the first to raise my hand, the first to state my opinion, the first to take a stand. I won't play it safe, won't wait for a sign. I'm gonna throw myself out there and let my light shine. Let it shine, let it shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Woo! Come on. I'll be popular on TV and all over the news. They'll be talking about me and all the things I do. I'll be the one who sets the bar, the one who's in the know. Folks will come to me to see where fashion trends will go. 'Cause I shine, yes I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. So I'm gonna follow my dreams. Nothing's in my way. Carpe diem is my mantra. I practice kindness every day. I take time to connect. Take time to have fun. I wanna know I've used up every drop before my life is done. So I shine. Yes, I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Woo! Let's go, Scott. For too many years, I hid my life, fearing I was too much, and who I was just wasn't right. But I heard this voice from within and up above, saying you're here to be a shining light and give and receive love.
Give and receive love.
I'm a human of power, a human of grace. The life that I've lived is in every wrinkle on my face. I love myself so I can love you too. I know when we're connected there ain't nothing we can't do. So let's shine, let's all shine. Let our big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. So let's shine, let's all shine. Let our big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Yes, we shine. Yes, we shine. We let our big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. So wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are welcome here. We believe that we are co-creators with the divine and that you can change your life by changing your mind. And I just want to ask, who's here for the first time this morning? All right. Whoa! Woo! You are so welcome here, and this is an amazing place. We hope that you can feel like you're part of our family and you see that we're really different. We are what this world needs now, so we're so glad you're here. All right, so Ernest Holmes is the founder of our philosophy. We teach the universal truths found in all spiritual teachings. We're super open-minded. We teach both traditional and contemporary philosophies. On our website, you can find out more about us. You can also see and click into videos from past services. You can hear our amazing Reverend Chris and past speakers and really get a sense of who we are. So please feel free to visit our website, cslcapecoral.org. On our website, too, it is interactive. You can submit your comments, and you can submit prayer requests. So we really believe in the power of prayer. We have practitioners that are the prayer arm of our church. So if there's anything that's heavy on your heart, you need some extra power for, you're going for a new job or thinking about a move or taking up a new hobby or anything where your life is expanding, you can submit a prayer request and you'll get some extra power behind that. So please feel free to check that out on our website. All right. And today we have Adalia Romero, who is sitting on the side here. She is holding high watch, and what that means is she's in a state of prayer and meditation and really holding up this whole service and our whole congregation for the highest and greatest good. So we, like I said, we really do believe in the power of prayer, and Adalia is in that space for us this morning. So thank you. All right, and now we have another song by the Big Love Band.
Come with me out by the ocean. Come with me out by the sea. Walk with me down by the water. Let me bathe you in the deep. We will build a boat together, set our faces toward the sun, set ourselves into the wind, and set out where we two are one. Come with me. Ooh, believe and breathe me. Come with me up to the mountain. Come with me up to the sky. Up where we can't see forever. Suspended between space and time. Ready for whatever happens, nothing like we've ever dreamed. Everything and more awaits us in this land of evergreen. Oh, come with me. Ooh, believe and breathe me. We got a lifetime to explore. Oh, the floor. I want more. Come with me back to the city. Come with me back to the crowd. Caught up in the stir and bustle. Take my hand, let's live out loud. Fill me up with true belonging, revel in this ecstasy. Looks just like we always planned it. Blessed synchronicity. Oh, come with me. Ooh, believe and breathe me. Come with me. Ooh, believe and breathe me. Come with me. Ooh, believe and breathe me.
All right. Woo! Okay. So this is our time to bless one another, right? And we get to behold each other. All right, so please join me in repeating our message here. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. We know who you truly are. You are the spiritual image and likeness of God. We appreciate you, we love you, and we are thankful you are here. Welcome to the center. All right.
All right, we're going to slow it down for this one. Our theme is curiosity is our superpower, right? Yes, so what is the one thing we all can be curious about is the silence. So feel free to sit, or if you'd like to close your eyes, you're welcome to, and just kind of listen to the words of this beautiful Jack Fowler song.
In the silence there is peace.
In the silence there is unspoken joy.
In the silence there's relief.
From a world full of chaos and noise, so I wait for these precious moments when I feel all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence, I find God. I find myself. In the silence there is peace.
In the silence there is unspoken joy.
In the silence there's release.
From a world full of chaos and noise.
So I wait for these precious
Good morning. First of all, our Big Love Band gets better and better every week. Give them some love. Thank you. And we even have extra music, a little, a little unexpected. So my name is Pam Lambert, and I'm a practitioner here. And first of all, I want to say welcome to all our new people, our first-time visitors. And also, I see Patrick and Stephen. I'm so happy to see them here too. So we are very blessed today because we have, this month is Black History Month, and we have our sister, one of the sister CSLs in Dallas, created 4 different videos for Black History Month featuring African American evolutionaries in science of mind. So we're going to play one short video every week, and so I think Jeremy's going to cue up one of the videos now.
Here's a little-known Black history science of mind fact. Jamaican-born Marcus Mosiah Garvey Jr. is well known as a businessman, journalist, Pan-Africanist, and powerful orator of the early 1900s. As such, he attracted thousands of followers to his Black nationalist movement that became known as Garveyism. As founder of the Universal Negro Improvement Association, Garvey encouraged African Americans to be proud of their race and promoted cultural identity through his Back to Africa campaign. But did you know that Garvey was also a follower of the New Thought movement, as well as a student of the ideas and philosophies of religious science? In fact, Garvey studied the same New Thought philosophers as religious science founder Ernest Holmes and his brother Fenwick, and often quoted their teachings. He also was inspired by divine science co-founder Nona Brooks. Even the philosophy of transcendentalism, led by writer Ralph Waldo Emerson, resonated with Garvey. He excelled in merging racial philosophical concepts and science of mind principles while addressing the Black condition in America. The strong philosophical beliefs in self-mastery, determination, and willpower that Garvey preached to Black people aligned perfectly with the newly emerging teachings of science of mind. In many of Garvey's speeches and writings, he often urged his followers to get a scientific knowledge of religion. His message was clear: liberate the minds of men, and ultimately, you will liberate the bodies of men. Another instrumental Jamaican in science of mind is Dr. Elma Lumsden, who founded the Temple of Light Church of Religious Science in Kingston, Jamaica in 1981. An engaging speaker and master teacher, Dr. Elma is also known for her simple yet dynamic words of wisdom, such as, until you can walk on water, take a boat. And life is a school, and we're not on holiday. Due to her leadership and diligence, Lumsden helped religious science become recognized as one of 12 key religions in Jamaica. Dr. Elma Lumsden and Marcus Garvey, Black evolutionaries in science of mind.
So that Reverend Elma, I'm not so sure I met her, but there is a fabulous Jamaican minister, Reverend John, does anybody remember the last name? And he comes to all the conferences, the CSL conferences, and I've got the opportunity to meet him in Asilomar many times. So we'll get started with my job here, and that is the weekly talk. Well, first of all, our monthly theme is curiosity. Teresa already said that. Curiosity as a superpower and what lies beneath the surface. And to me, I have no idea what Reverend Chris is going to talk about, but what lies beneath the surface, I think of as maybe my subconscious. and a lot of times there's a lot of chatter going on. So I have something from Essential Earnest, which is the class we're taking, and also from Debbie Ford, The Secret of the Shadow, but it'll be very brief, I hope. Mine comes under two classifications. There are not two minds, but rather two names employed in describing states of consciousness, the conscious and the unconscious. So here's an example of what's hidden beneath the surface when our mind gets chattering, and this is from Debbie Ford, Secret of the Shadow. When we are in our stories, we never think one thought just once. We don't think, I would love to have a great relationship, and leave it at that. We think, oh, I hope he comes soon. I hope he doesn't have an ex-wife. I hope he's kind and loving and will buy me a ring. I hope he doesn't burp out loud. We might dream about lying on the beach in Hawaii looking better than we've looked in 10 years and having a passionate, fulfilling sex life. And then we think, oh, I hope he doesn't hurt me. I hope it's not like the last lying jackass that's in the book. Then we think about the last creep we had a relationship with, and off we go on a tangent about how badly we've been wronged and how much better we would be doing if we hadn't gotten involved with that person. And inside our stories, we rethink the same thoughts over and over, future, past, past, past. It goes on, and it's tireless. So that's our squirrely mind. But the conscious mind is superior to the subjective. So this is the good news. And we may consciously use it. Great as the subconscious is, its tendency is set in motion by the conscious thought. And in this is the possibility lies the freedom, the path to freedom. It is not fate, but cause and effect. And Ernest Holmes says the ability to attain your goals, to control your experiences, and have them result in happiness, prosperity, and success lies in your own mind and the way you use it. This means you control your own experience. You are really in charge of your affairs and the way they are to develop. That's kind of tough responsibility, huh? So, we'll take this into prayer. And first, this is the time where we hold someone or a situation in the light. So please bring into mind someone or a situation in your heart, and we can enter just a few moments, or a few seconds actually, of silence. So knowing that we are so powerful, our conscious mind is so powerful. We know that from what I just read. And knowing that there is just one light, one energy, one love, one source we call God, and we are each and every one of us a part of that. So I know today I take the time to bless this beautiful time we have together, the service, all the volunteers, the hearts and hands that went into making Sunday service possible, the inspirational words from Reverend Chris today, and each and every person here in the seats. We know that anything that is put into the light is taken care of, that we can just turn it over to Source, knowing that it's not us, but it does the work, and knowing that it is done, and it is done in absolute perfection. So I just release my word, I let it be, and together I ask that you join me in, and so it is. And now I am so excited I get to introduce Reverend Chris Lahiff. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Have to go and grab the clicker. Yeah. absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks. Thanks, Cassie. Band's sounding good. Wonderful to see some faces. How are you all doing? It's like my best part of the week. This is the most, the time when I get to see the most people all in one place, and it's truly it's a wonderful thing. So thank you for being here. Now, this month, this is going to be the best month all year so far. Yes, it's going to be good because we're talking about curiosity and as a superpower. I'm intrigued. I don't know about you, but I hope you are. So curiosity, like all humans, we are born curious. Babies are just all about like, whoa, they're just taking it in. It's so much and want to put everything in my mouth and just curious and, truly a blank slate and just absorbing it. They say that, they're little sponges, and they really are. And then they start to get a little older, and then this is the question that I hear so much. It's, why? Why? But why? But why? And I love that, because I love that my children just want to learn. And, it seems like at some point when we get a little older, we might start to lose a little bit of that desire. But places like this, spiritual development, I think encourages us to lean back into that. And that's why I'm so excited about the month of February and this global theme. There was one time where my wife and I, we were walking into a hospital to see a friend of ours, and we were right behind a mother and her young child, and the child said, "Why is the sky blue?" And the mom said, "I don't know." And that's just one of those things. It's just because. Nobody will ever know why. And my wife and I were like, no, Google it. You gotta Google it. We know why. And so I think that's one of the coolest things is we live in this age of Google and anything, darn near anything you could ever want to know it's in my pocket, just right there. And I got it. A little different when we're going within, and a little more challenging. As we talked about like this shadow work that Pam referenced. Adalia's meditation was just spot on. Looking for that thing that's within us. There is that voice within us that calls to us to express and be through it. And it's fun to play with. So I wanted to kind of lean in, shadow's kind of heavy stuff. So I thought we would just kind of like ease in a little bit, kind of in a little bit of levity. So some of the ways that shadows show up. Carl Jung, I believe, was the first one that was, really got famous or, really put this concept out into the mainstream. And it was the idea that if we look at things and other people that irritate us and, really honestly look at them with curiosity and an open mind, we can learn a lot about ourselves. And so, like the short saying is that which annoys us and others is things that we actually do and are probably unaware that we're doing it. So I found an article, or a few articles, but it was like 50 things that you're doing that annoy others and you're probably unaware that you're doing. So I pulled out just a couple that have personal relevance for me. So one of them, something that all my life, I made a point of never being that guy that goes through the express lane with more than 10 items. Won't do it. Absolutely not. And was I judgmental of others when they're doing it? Yep, I was. Like, oh, come on. Really, you couldn't count? Well, I had taken a job in a grocery store, and it was like my second day of training, and I get done, I clock out, and I have to go get some items for home. And I go up, and I'm going through the register. I get them all up there. They start ringing it up, and then I look over. Somebody comes in line, and I look at him to smile, and he's like, "I guess the 10-item rule doesn't apply if you work here." And I was like, "What?" Oh, I looked up, and I didn't even notice. I was in the express lane all my life. So then I was like, have I done that in the past? Maybe I did that in the past. And so it was, a little embarrassing, people looking at me like this. But, and so I apologized profusely. But then later, as I thought about it a little more, I was so thankful that he said something to me. Because that reminded me don't be so darn judgmental. People make honest mistakes. And I knew that it was an honest mistake, but other people, it looks like there's that selfish guy that doesn't care about, the norms of society. So it was, a little thing that I thought I was embarrassed about, but it was a gift. And so if I can recognize that in other people, then the things that might annoy me they're little reminders that I can be curious about. So then the next one was, you're driving and somebody speeds up to get in front of you, and then they stop at the light. They're like, really? And so I put that one in just because I know myself that I have, if anybody here has been driving for any considerable amount of time, I'm guessing at some point or another, you have been the one that caused the issue. That, maybe alerted somebody else to want to show you one of their fingers. and I know I have. And so again, it's a reminder that through years of work in this philosophy of being curious, of going within, and and looking at, like, that annoys me. Why does it annoy me so much? Why is it triggering? Because that's the way that our subconscious mind that Pam talks about, it whispers to us. And it's like, here's where your job is. This is where your work is. Now, the last one I had to put in because when I saw it, it reminded me of a really, most people would probably say a dumb movie. I think it's brilliant. But, so the line is, people that start off a sentence with these words, no offense, and whatever comes out of their mouth immediately afterward is not going to be nice. So, it's a Talladega Nights. And, he starts it off with all due respect, and then he spits out an insult that I'm not going to repeat here right now, but it's a good one. And then right away, the guy's, his boss is like, what did you say to me? He's like, I said with all due respect. So just because you say that doesn't mean you can say whatever you want. It most certainly does. It's in the Geneva Conventions. Look it up. So Google it, exactly. I get to say whatever I want as long as I start it with no offense. But, so that's, some of the ways that it's very surface level, those things that annoy us that are there for us. But now it goes deeper. Our shadow effect that we get to play with. Like, what are the things that really stir you up, that really agitate you? These are the things. It's one of those things that I'll use this statement a lot, that it's very simple. It's a simple concept, like that which annoys you in some way or another. Sometimes it takes a little twisting and turning to see how it is that it is in your life that you're unaware. But when I take the time to be really curious about it and look at it, I can find ways that's where I need to work a little bit. That's where I would like to improve my mindset. But it can be challenging. But that is where our work is and where our blessings are. So that baby that is so wide open and curious, as we grow older, I make it a point every day to find one thing that I feel like enriches my mindset, my mental knowledge or practices. And even if it's, a day where I just really want to rest, I still like to find 3-minute YouTube video, something that just brings me something to just remind me of that presence that's within me. And looking into this curiosity, the gift is that we get to know ourselves. In this, the science of mind, we talk about we are individualized points of that one consciousness. We are part of that entire whole, and we also are our own individualized little aspect of it that gets to interact with others in order for that thing to know itself. So how can that thing know itself if we don't know ourselves? So for me, I want to recognize as I'm up here, and I hate using the word preaching, but really that's what I'm doing. So I want to always reiterate, this is my path, this is what I feel called to, and I recognize and respect everybody else's individual path. So when I say every day I want to make myself a little better than I was yesterday, the first caveat of that is never better than anybody else, never less than anybody else, just better. Because as I learn something that improves myself, my life improves. And I've seen that work time and time and again as things grow. Things have just continually gotten better. But that might not be for you. But what I would like to encourage us all to think about is let's just become curious. Because if we don't know if that's what we want or not, then we just kind of continue on autopilot. And we end up wherever we kind of end up. But if there is something in your life that you would like to experience more, to bring in the richness, to feel that presence that Adalia talked to feel it within and be able to recognize that we are co-creating with that. Let's become curious and just take time to really ask ourselves, what is important to me? What is showing up? Why does that thing annoy me, and how can I learn to twist that a little bit to my advantage, which is also the advantage of everyone around me? Now, the good news is, so those things that our mind, our subconscious mind, the reticular activating system points out to us, those things that really annoy us and get us agitated, that there are things that we hold within and that we don't like about ourselves. Well, we are in the physical world of duality, where everything is spirit, and so we get the full experience. So the bad news is we can learn about our shadow like that. The good news is when you see something in the world that instead of annoying you, you see something in the world that's like, whoa, look what that person just did. That's amazing. And it just inspires you. Maybe an act of kindness or just anything that maybe, a really cool invention. Things that are just ingenious. And you see it and you recognize it for what it is, and then you get the goosebumps. And you're like, man, that person was inspired. The reason that gives you the goosebumps, in the same way that the other things that annoy you trigger you, the way that other things inspire you is because that's inside of you too. And it's wanting to be recognized. And so this is all a gift. So I encourage us to, all month long, really become curious. I equate, curiosity with the Buddhist concept of the beginner's mind. Looking at things as if you have no preconceived notion, you've never experienced it before, and just taking a second and a breath, stepping back, and just observing without judgment, without labeling. And anytime that something in the news triggers you, or something out in the world, or at the store when the person goes through the line with too many items, and you get triggered, and then just stop. And why am I triggered? What's important? What is wanting to come through me? And that is a gift that living in this physical world is all about. And so we get to, the more we know ourselves, the more we go within, then the more that we get to choose what we are out in the world, instead of, again, just going along on default and letting everything out there dictate how we show up in here, how, the state of our mind, anxiety, depression, and stress, when it's all stuff that's happening outside us, it's out of our control. But when we begin to recognize, everything that happens in here really tells us what's going on out there. So if we can flip that switch and just learn to go within and recognize what state of mind am I in, and what do I want to be in, and what do I have to learn about myself in this situation? How did that person that did the amazing thing, where does that inspiration come from? And then, the spiritual practice of curiosity, mindfulness is really the same thing, of just observing ourselves, and just taking time to just sit and say, what wants to come up through me? Let's just go into the silence and just wait and see what kind of whispers. It's amazing when we, I talked a lot about it last week. When we knock on the door is open. But this is our opportunity and our gift for this whole month, is this remembering to take time to be curious. So with that, Maya Angelou, wonderful, wonderful visionary. So the quote, for anybody that's unable to see it, or anybody maybe at home, it says, "I believe that the most important single thing beyond discipline and creativity is daring to dare." It goes back to that idea, daring to dare. These concepts and principles that we teach in the science of mind, they're very simple, but they're not easy. It takes concerted effort, and sometimes it can be hard. Looking at that shadow within ourselves, a lot of times we have to admit things that we may not like about ourselves. But there's nothing wrong with that, because we all have it. We all have that infinite potential within. So the good, the bad, it's within all of us. And until you are aware that it's within you, then we can't control what comes out of us. It just happens and it spills out. But once we become aware, then we learn how to catch ourselves before we end up creating situations that are more challenging. Sometimes it seems like the easier way out is to ignore things, but in the long run, that's always the hard way. And so once we learn these practices and be daring to dare to explore within. And then I know I've brought this up even just this year. Howard Thurman, I love these words. Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and go do that. Because what the world needs is more people who have come alive. I re-included that one again just because of the visionary that he was. He was the first black dean of a majority white chapel at Boston College. And it's amazing, this month that the visionaries that we were blessed to have come before us and just reminding us. So the curiosity, what makes you come alive? If you don't take time and be curious and ask yourself, then we'll never know. And that whole extra realm of yourself as you is just sitting there dormant, waiting to be expressed. And it's okay, it'll wait. It doesn't, sometimes it might start to scream at you a little louder when that desire within you is so big. But it's patient, but it's there just waiting for us. And when you start to discover that, your world opens up, but more importantly, it gives permission to people around you to open up in their world too. So then I'm just going to finish on one more from Maya. I did then what I knew how to do, and now that I know better, I do better. Simple, maybe not easy, but beautiful. Another beautiful visionary. Like if you want to look at a really amazing life story, full range of experience and expression, Maya Angelou is one to check out for sure. So I invite us all this month, I encourage each of you to just ask yourself, what makes you tick? And maybe find something to Google that, gives you a little more information and, guidance towards whatever it is that speaks to your heart. Because what speaks to your heart is there for a reason. It's what the world needs from you. So let's go ahead and take that into a prayer, however you like to be comfortable. Just recognizing that there is one infinite life, one peace, one consciousness, and it is flowing through all things, all matter, all people. The entire universe is alive with this substance, with this life force, whatever you want to call it, that God. And I recognize that each and every one of us here, and each and every one of us listening online, and everyone else who is on their own path, maybe some in church today, maybe others outside, hiking, whatever is the path, that spirit is there, this life force is always there. And when we open up and follow that inspiration, that we are creating a world that works for everyone. So I know that this is a blessing, and I know and appreciate that that impulse is always there for us when we just open up and become curious. So I hold in this light that everybody has that voice within, that everybody has that ability to knock and be entered upon the castle, and that it is a beautiful thing. So as we all go throughout this month, may curiosity reign supreme. May every challenging aspect and every unbelievably beautiful aspect remind us of what we have within and how we can choose what it is that we like to express out in this world. So may that light and blessings be with each and every person hearing these words and each and every person not hearing these words. That Spirit is everywhere in that one mind, and it's all made manifest in mind first. So in deepest gratitude for that way that the universe creates, I say thank you, and I let these words go, knowing that it's already done in the mind of God, and now we get to just experience it and celebrate in it. And I affirm that is so by saying what we always say, and so it is. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Now the part where we invite our ushers up. This is where we take our collection to help keep the center moving, to help plant the seeds now that will be celebrated 40 years from now, that we are here because of the people that planted these seeds 40 years prior. And it's a wonderful thing. So there's several ways that we can give. You can text the tithe, which is my preferred method. There's a phone number, 239-320-3820. All you have to do is text the number, and it will respond to you the first time you set up your information, and then every time after that, all you have to do is go to that number. I have it saved in the phone as CSL Cape Coral Tithe, and I type an amount, and it takes about 15 seconds at the most, and it says, thank you, it has been received. You can also use PayPal, so PayPal at cslcapecoral.org, or the donate button on our website is also very easy at cslcapecoral.org. The old-fashioned way still works wonderfully. You can mail a check to Center for Spiritual Living Cape Coral, 406 Southeast 24th Avenue, Cape Coral, Florida, 33990. And for those of you in person that prefer to just give right here, we do that as well. So Kay and Randy are wonderful people for being our greeters and our ushers today, so they will be passing around baskets. If you have a prayer request that you would like our team to hold in consciousness for you for the week, you can throw it in there and it will get to the right place, and all of our practitioner team, that is the core of our prayer work here, we'll get that information and give it a shot. If there's anything in your life that you need help with, or anything in your life that you just want to see more of, give it a shot and see how it works, because it's amazing when we ask that Spirit shows up. It's an amazing thing. All right, so this is our affirmation that we like to do when we give. So if you would join me as we read this together, we say, today, I know the activity of divine abundance is at work in my life and the life of this center. I give and receive generously as I live in the flow of bountiful good. All right, so thank you very much. And then now we have some Big Love Band. Oh, we don't. We have Colette. Wonderful. Wow. Wow. Thank you, Cole. That's the first time that I got to hear the piano in the sanctuary, and I so wish I could play the piano. That's such a, I mean, the way Colette does, because that was so rich and full, and it's all coming, wow, from one person at one time. That is truly amazing. All right, so we just give thanks to the universe. Thanks for each and every individualized expression of the one infinite being or source of all life that has contributed to help keep this purpose and this idea and this concept alive in this world, that it is truly part of the circulation. So I know that everything that was given is returned in abundance, and that everything that is received is also used in the proper ways and the proper places, helping those that it can, and just uplifting this continued mission of really experiencing that divine life, heaven here on earth in the now as we created within. So I just give thanks for all these blessings, and I know that it is good, and so it is. Thank you, thank you. All right, wonderful. And here's Teresa again. Thanks, Teresa.
What a beautiful morning. So I'm going to talk about what's coming up this week. Yeah? Who has our, thank you. We are a very, very active community, all right? So if this is your first time here, like we don't just kind of sit back and just come to service and walk out the door and go about our way. The people who are part of this community know that there's this magic of giving and receiving. So we receive in so many ways, and we also give in so many ways. And that means that we are busy people. So yesterday, I want to thank everybody that came out. We had a wonderful beautification day. We set up our children's room. And so, yeah, woohoo! And did a lot of beautiful work outside, and thanks to Phyllis and Patty for planting beautiful flowers, and just for everybody that was here yesterday. I do want to say we have started back up our children's program in earnest. We now have a group of volunteers who are going to be working with the children each Sunday. And if you are interested in doing that, please see me after the service. Our children are our future, and it's how we're going to grow. And you think about this wonderful community of Cape Coral and Fort Myers, and all the families that need to hear this message and to be part of a loving and supportive community. So if you know of anyone who you think would enjoy our service, and especially those folks that have children, please invite them. So just to go through some of our things coming up this week, on February 7th, we have our wonderful Reiki practitioner, Patty Carney, is doing Reiki via Zoom on Thursday from 6:30 to 8:30. We have our annual meeting coming up. Coming up on March 5th. This is our yearly meeting where we talk about the work of the center. We talk about the financial health of our center. We set goals as a community, what we might want to be doing in this upcoming year. We get ideas. We make plans. So if you want to be a part of the vision for this coming year and to learn about sort of the inner workings of our center, please plan on attending that. And that's going to be right after our service on March 5th. This is super cool. We are going to have a metaphysical fair here at the center. People are going to be setting up tables, and there's going to be there's going to be vendors, arts and crafts. We're going to have food, but we're going to have just a lot of really interesting practices and practitioners here. It'll be a really, talk about curiosity. So if you've ever been curious about things like acupuncture or Reiki or manifesting or what have you, it'll be a really fun day. And so please feel free to come on, and that's going to be on Saturday, the 25th from 10 to 3. All right. And if you want to be part of the Metaphysical Fair, there are opportunities to be of service. You can help with food. You can help donate healthy food items, and just, I'm sure, helping with setting up and breaking down and all of that. And we are going to have a book table too, and you can help with managing that. So it's going to be a really fun day. And hopefully it'll be a chance for us to get a lot of people in from the broader community and let them know what we're all about. So also a good chance to invite your friends. Yeah? All right. Great. In the middle of every week, so we're here on Sundays, but on Wednesdays, we meet here in person from noon to 1:30. If the weather's nice, we'll be out under the trees. If it's too hot or too cold even, because this is Florida, so when it gets to be like 60, we just don't know what to do with that. So then we'll come inside. But it's a wonderful chance to just come, to talk, to connect, to ask questions, to just dive a little bit deeper into our spiritual practices. And so that's every Wednesday from 12 to 1:30 here at the center. All righty. Yes, Miss Phyllis.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I want to be sure to thank Roger and Gail and Reverend Chris and Griffin for the work that they did yesterday.
Yes, absolutely. And so, and I did mention we had our beautification day. Phyllis was a big part of that too, and Patty, Reverend Chris, Roger, and Gail. Griffin, who's 8, was helping in the kids' room. Yeah. It was a fun day. Yes. So it was a fun day. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Yeah, come on up.
We're also in the space of interrupting.
Go for it.
I thank you, Phyllis. Absolutely. Thanks for being here and pointing that out. One thing that leading up to that annual meeting on the 5th of March, at that annual meeting, you have to be a member to be able to vote on the important stuff around here. And so we are having a new member kind of induction on the last Sunday of the month. That's the 4th Sunday. I forget the date offhand, but it's also the day that we do our potluck, so it's a good day to come stick around. So there are some requirements that we request and require of people to become a member. You had to have taken either the foundations class or the principles and practices class. And if you have done that and you would like to make it official and become a member at the center and have all the voting privileges thereof and other perks that we work on offering, then that 4th Sunday, you can let myself know, Pam know, Melissa, Teresa, see anybody with the stole, the practitioners, they're all in the know as well. And so we'd like to have you there and then see you then as we get to welcome more people into the center as official members. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Chris. It is so important. Being a member of this, so we moved here about 1.5 years ago. Being a member of this community has been life-changing. And it's okay. All right. So I do encourage you, if you are interested or just curious, if you're curious about being a member, please talk with us. And it is a wonderful way to really, they say as we get older, one of the most important things about our longevity and happiness is being a part of a community. And I have really found that to be true. I can share my joys, share my burdens, get love and support. And that is really a wonderful thing that we have here. So I'm being a member. I'm looking at some of the newer folks here that I know are in the class that we're taking now, and just getting to know people. Being a member is a wonderful way to do that. Okay, so we've come to the end of our service. I want to say at the end here, we are going to have our practitioners come up in front. Our practitioners are, as we've mentioned, are the prayer arm for this church. And we do what's called a 1-minute miracle. It can go more than a minute. It's time that you can talk about what's on your heart. If there's anything that's troubling you, anything that you're wanting some support with, or anything that you're really excited about, you can come up and meet with one of our practitioners, and they'll pray with you. It's super powerful. So please come up and take advantage of this moment. All right, and we have one last song by the Big Love Band, and then we're gonna go about our week. We do have a table in the back. I will be sitting at that immediately after the service. If you've got questions about the center, please come back. It's also a place you can submit another prayer request, anything that you want to know. One thing I will mention too, we do have classes going on. Right now we have an Essential Earnest class. I'm sure we're going to be starting some new classes up, so you can talk with me about what it's like to take classes here at the center too. All righty, let's go. Let your love flow.
All right, we're gonna say bye with this fun song.
There's a reason for the sunshine day. There's a reason while I'm feeling so high. Must be the season when that love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and then you're sailing through the moonlit nights with your lover. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on a wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean, that's the reason.
All right, let's go.
Let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on a wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean, it's the season. That's the reason. That's the reason.
Everyone
Have a
great
wonderful week.